Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Peak Season Podcast. Tyler and I are reunited, and it feels so good. What is up, Tyler? I see your background has changed.
It has. I finally moved into our new house. It's been a little stressful, but not probably as stressful as putting up 2 properties and getting everything ready to go like you have to. So doing good. It's great to be back and great to see you.
Yeah, I'm loving the new office. Can't wait to see how you decorate it. Hopefully next episode.
That's a lot of pressure.
Right. Before we started recording, Tyler and I were actually just going through this Airbnb listing, and we sort of ripped it to shreds, and we thought, why not just hit record and do it all over again? So, Tyler, should we just do it now? You want to get right into it?
Yeah. And I want to preface too, guys, this isn't an attack on, the owner or anything. This is just us looking at, honestly, I was telling Luke, I said, I love this house. I know exactly where it's at, and I want to co-host this property. And as we were looking through it, we just found a lot of opportunities that this owner has, and what we would do differently and strategize. So that's really what we're here today to do, is show you what we're looking at and why maybe tweaking some of these things could make a big difference for this owner.
Yeah, I maybe I was a little bit harsh with my language there. Ripping it to shreds is not what we're doing. But in any case, there are a lot of areas to improve with this house, and we would absolutely love to take this on. They definitely shouldn't hire us as co-hosts if they want to keep this current track record going.
Yeah.
Let's do it. If they want to keep things exactly like they're doing right now, definitely don't hire us. All right, so I am going to share my screen, and let's get into it. All right, here we go. So this is the top, or the I'm gonna purposely leave the owner out of this, so we can just look at the cover photos here. You can see it's a nice chalet up in Northwest Michigan. It's got some beach access. It's inside the resort. It's got a really cool vintage vibe going on.
Yeah.
We've got 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, and they're sleeping 16 guests. What do you think about that, Tyler?
Yeah. So first and foremost, too many, right? I know heads and beds can equal higher EDR, but sometimes too much is just too much, right? I think that this place, I'm thinking 12 max is probably where you want to be. Maybe even 10 with 2 bedroom or 2 baths. It's just real tight. I can tell you
a good rule of thumb. One thing I've always went with is I don't like to steer too far off of 4 guests per bathroom.
Yeah.
So I've done 2 baths sleeping 9. And even then, when they sleep 9, sometimes you can tell they're a little bit on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, so unless it's going to be like 2 families and you have like 4 adults and then 5 kids to make up the 9, so each family kind of has a bathroom, I think that works. But I think roughly, especially if they're all adults, 16 adults sharing 2 bathrooms is just a recipe for bad reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see the reviews right there, 4.79, 68 reviews. They're getting a decent amount of reviews, and the reviews aren't terrible. We kind of went through them, but before we start there, I want to talk first at the pictures and the title. So let's talk about title optimization. Northern Light Chalets by Wanderlust Abodes. I love, you can have a name in it, right? Northern Night Chalet. I love that. But I would think about including some other things like, 5 bedrooms or beach, pool, ski access, right? One other big thing that they said in their listing was they're pet friendly. Announce that. How many people are looking for pet friendly that don't offer, there's a lot less pet friendly places, and there are that have that offer pets. So I'm going to add something about pet friendly in this listing if I am truly a pet friendly STR.
A really cool way to come up with these 50 character taglines right here is to go into ChatGPT, and if you use ChatGPT a lot, Chat might know a lot about your properties already. Yep. Or that property, or you can give it a link and have it look at this property and come up with some things. But one thing I like to do is I turn it on voice mode and I have a conversation with it, and I say, hey, I need you to take a look at this property, ask me some questions about the property, let's have a conversation, and then I want you to help me generate titles for Airbnb that are 50 characters or less. and you talk to ChatGPT for like 3 or 4 minutes about how many bathrooms it has, what the traffic drivers are, who your guest avatar is, things like that. And then it's going to chunk you out like an amazing list, and you'll get 3 or 4 that are amazing that you could
Right.
have never thought of.
Yeah, great point, Luke. And let's be honest too, guys. You should be changing your titles not off. It doesn't have to be frequently, but I mean, I'm changing them as seasons go. At least, every probably quarter, I'm changing them and trying different things. Again, getting in and being active in Airbnb, that is part of the algorithm. They see that, and that does help. So, kind of to that same point, when we're looking at these photos, I think I'm still at that point where I'm still showing a little bit of my winter season because winter in this area with skiing and all the snow that we've been getting, I want to see more snow and people skiing and tubing and things of that nature. So I think, I love the pictures, but I would consider maybe redoing some of these hero photos.
For sure. And I mean, sleeping on that headline there is a huge mistake. Over the weekend, I changed the headline for Seven Pines
Hmm.
from I think I had it as like winter escape, hot tub, wood burning fireplace, and I changed it to steps to beach, hot tub, fireplace.
Hmm.
And I got 3 bookings for summer within 24 hours.
Bam. Look at you go.
And I didn't change pictures. I didn't do anything. I just changed that
Hmm.
to be a little bit more summer oriented. I still have my winter pictures up and everything, but
Yeah.
that line right there makes a huge difference. And that's the first thing people see besides that image. So
Well, and so that's a great point, Luke, right? Sounds like maybe, still having the winter photos, but if you are trying to attract your summer guests, maybe adding a little bit more of a summer-esque or even spring-esque title can maybe help drive some of those future bookings and maximizing your pricing for those far out pricings, right?
for sure.
Um, no, that's a great point.
All right.
Um,
So Tyler, do you want to look at pictures or reviews next?
let's look at pictures.
Pictures. All right. I got a tab open for pictures. So we've seen this
Er,
one. This is a cool place.
I love the house, man. It's so cool.
Yeah. Could you imagine how this would look with twilight and some string lights under here, though?
Oh man, awesome. So I
And
love
right.
these photos too. I mean, I don't know, the beach tiles don't do a ton for me because it's not like you're technically you don't have beachfront. I don't
Right.
know if that can be a little confusing to people. I know that they have beach access, right? But it kind of maybe alludes a little bit differently. And this light picture, I know it's funny. I love this light, but I don't know that it's something like I can't tell what's in the blurred background, if that's a bed or what that is, or maybe it's a really cool tub. That would be cool, but the light
I
really
think it's a
doesn't.
bed.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me, right? And maybe they're trying to play
Yeah.
on the light for the name, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's really important, and I don't think it's going to have people want to click through more pictures.
Right. Let's see. Do they have captions for their pictures?
No
No.
captions.
No captions. That's a
I don't
mistake.
think they have captions for any of their pictures, which guys, again, a big no-no. You should have a caption for almost every picture, if not all pictures that you have listed on Airbnb. It does help with the algorithm.
Yeah, it helps with the algorithm. It helps with search engine optimization.
Yeah,
So
that's a
if
good
you
one.
are doing a Google search for a cabin and you type in a certain combination of keywords in there, Google's actually going to look through these pictures, or it's going to be indexed, and you might have organic traffic coming to your Airbnb listing from a Google search and not from an actual search on Airbnb.
Right.
But you're stacking that against yourself when you don't fill out these descriptions.
Yeah.
And also, just like just to help the bookers, is this a state park, is this a community beach? I know because I've been there. It's a community beach that not everyone has access to, and it's
Yeah.
really nice, but the
And how far is it? It's
can't
only a
tell.
couple minutes, but how do
Right.
people know?
Very short drive
Uh,
away. But is
yeah.
it walking distance? Is it a short drive? I don't know. I guess this is probably some sort of a clubhouse type
Yeah,
thing or
that's what it
something,
looks like.
but like why I don't even know why that's there, but it should be described.
Kind of showing where things are. That's great. but I think it's not really necessary. Like the Deskin Drive, I know where that's at, but do you really need the road on there? Probably not. I want to point out this garage. This is a big opportunity here, guys. It is a plain garage. Luke, what would you be doing with this garage, knowing what you've seen in the house and what maybe amenities? Again, you have a high number of people. And this kind of goes back to, and we'll talk about it later, but knowing your guest avatar and who you're trying to get to book your place is extremely important. And if you don't know that, you need to be taking some time to do that because in here, I'm thinking Shanty Creek in this area. I'm thinking families, multiple families coming. So, Luke, what do you think needs to be in this garage, or how could they use a space better than what it is currently?
Yeah, I would wanna look at what's lacking in the main house. Is there a game area in the main house? Is there a movie area
No,
in the main house? I don't think there is, but
no,
if it were mine, I would probably, at a bare minimum, have games and some extra living space out here, perhaps even a little heater that really stood out, like one of those ceiling mounted propane ones or something, so it was
yeah,
a Four Seasons type situation.
yeah,
Maybe ski racks so people can leave skis out here. It's just a blank slate where you could do all sorts of cool stuff.
yeah,
And yeah, total missed opportunity. You could do so many cool things. You could, if you got one of those screens that came down so you could open the garage door and leave it
yep,
open with a screen,
yeah. For
there's people
summer,
that would
that
book this place in the summer just for that alone.
yep, mm,
Especially if looking at the layout, it looks like you could do a fire pit right outside that. So you could have it transition from a fire pit outside, or even if it's just like a little gas fire pit and there's another nicer fire pit somewhere else.
right.
So there's a little fire pit situation outside, and then you go in there, and I mean, I don't know what the budget would be for that, but what, maybe 5 grand? You could go a long way with that.
Oh yeah,
And one extra booking in the summer at peak rates pays for it.
yep.
So getting down to this deck, another, I see a solo stove over here. That's nice,
Oh yeah, I
but
noticed
like,
that.
I mean, so they spent the money on a solo stove, but they don't have a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I see a table for 4 people, which you sleep 16.
Well, I mean, yeah. So you got that table, and then scroll down the next ones to the fire pit. That's just a little sitting area. There's your fire pit. How many chairs are at the fire pit? Eight,
Yep.
not
Looks like they
16.
have some of the, maybe they're trying to fill in like logs for places for people to sit as
That's
well.
even okay. That's 12 then, but I still don't think
Right.
that's enough, right? If you're gonna sleep 16 guests.
Sure. Another thing is a place like this, chances are with 16 people, it's going to have kids.
Yeah.
But I would want probably to have like maybe a swing set or something that is like a kid amenity by the by the fire pit so that
Hmm.
the adults could see them all sitting by the fire pit while the kids are over here at the swing set, or maybe there's a yard game or something you could get. Even if it's just like getting some what do they call them? What's the game where you toss the bags into the holes? I'm
Cornhole.
cornhole,
Corn-
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't have enough fun apparently. But even if it's just like a cornhole set that's right by that, and you can get a picture
right.
that's at a wide angle where we have cornhole over here and the fire pit over here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
Set the scene,
again,
allow people to view themselves in the space.
yeah. Again, yeah, if you have games, anything of that nature for indoor and outdoor, I would have those as pictures, right? Because I think having those, I think I'm going to add this year one of those tall checkers, or what's that game? Is it not checkers?
Like Connect Four?
Connect Four. I was thinking Plinko,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I want one of those large Connect Four games out there, and I want pictures of those, right? Because again, I get a lot of families there. I want some games that I can put on the deck versus a yard, things of that nature. But think through again, who's your guest avatar, who's booking your place, and looking at the amenities you offer based on those avatars.
yeah, exactly.
I love the inside of this place. I think it's so cool. Like, I love the chandelier. I love the wood, the exposed. Let's click on. All right, let's look at that living room though. Again, we're looking at, and I have it up pulled up here. You're sleeping 16 people, and I see a couch that can sit about three, and these
Have two
big and
chairs.
two chairs, and then these big. I don't know what those are called. Like sleep sacks or whatever. Um,
A
yeah,
love sack.
just yeah, I love that. Just definitely not enough space for 16 people to be at. Not even enough space for really 10, to be honest with you. Um,
Right.
so I think, and also in some of the reviews I read, they didn't feel the couch was very comfortable. I would definitely put this space looks big enough for a decent sized sectional. I'd consider maybe a large sectional area. And I think maybe it's hard because the space of where you have the fireplace, the wood burning fireplace and the TV, but I think you can rework this space and maximize it to its full potential.
Oh, 100%. Like it. I mean, if nothing else, just get some color in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
get some furniture that has some brighter colors, a
Something that
rug that
pops.
fits. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it pop a little bit. So, like when I opened up this and it was black, right?
Yeah.
The picture looked pretty cool until I looked at it with a black backdrop, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of dark in there.
Right. Yep.
And I mean, just a huge opportunity here to do something amazing.
Yeah.
And I would probably try and look at probably easier said than done, but maybe getting the TV over a little bit so that you have more of a focal point of a room.
Yep.
So the TV over on this side somehow, even if it's just on a TV stand in front of the window, so that way you're facing the fireplace and the TV. Because
Agreed.
who wants to sit with their back to the fire?
Yeah.
Some pictures of this bunny.
Quirky rabbit. I love the rabbit
Yeah.
though.
Which
I
I
don't
mean,
know
these
what it's
places
not.
are quirky up there. As an owner of a very quirky place, like I love steering into this, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you abandon everything else.
Right. Let's go down to the dining room. Again, I think the dining room's super nice. It's kind of got this like to me, this place is like rustic modern, right? So there's some rustic stuff. Then there's like the dining room
There's your
table.
couch.
Yeah. Then the dining room table and chairs seem a little bit more modern to me, which is fine. I don't think that it's bad. Again, I just point out that we got 12 chairs and I think we had four though at the kitchen. So there is 16 there. So
Yeah,
that's
let's
not bad.
see.
I think there was four at the yeah, right there. Click
One,
yep.
two, I see three,
Okay, three.
but that doesn't mean there's not necessarily four, but
Yeah, so there could be.
I see three in
There
the
could
picture.
okay.
So we're close to how many we can seat
Yeah, we're close
or
there.
sleep.
Yeah. Um, you know, I think um I think that the kitchen was another call out where there was larger groups calling saying the space is pretty small. Um
Mhm.
Again, I think that maybe we're just still over maximizing how many people we're trying to get in this space to create the value and the price. But honestly, if we could just redo some things, we could make more money with less people. And I think that's the goal, right? I think in this specific property, I'm going to nail that guest avatar and I'm going to have more like 8 to 10 people, but I'm still going to get the price, if not higher than what I've been getting with trying to get 16 people in here.
Absolutely. And with the cozy vibes you got going on here, I honestly think I would love to turn this into even a place that sleeps 4 people and just make it super cool, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't recommend that, but I mean, I could see it would being a fun project to make it a
Yeah.
place that's for smaller groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, I
I mean,
think 8 to 10 would be a good sweet spot for this place.
yeah. Luke, I know we spent a lot of time on pictures and some of the space. Let's go back to the main listing and let's take a look at kind of the outline. Oh, you want to hit this real quick though? I
Yeah,
don't
one
know.
more thing. It looks
Yeah.
like we've got triple twin bunks?
Yeah. I can't. I'm not good with beds. I'm not good with
I
bed
mean,
sizes.
looking at it from this angle, I see that looks like twins to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so the sleeping situation, I mean, we're definitely it's a heads in bed situation, no doubt.
hmm
And I'm
Yeah. And that
also
space.
seeing
Oh,
sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead. No,
No, I'm
I was
also
just
seeing
saying
this
that
looks like it's in a loft.
that space could be totally used as a game room or something else, right? Because yeah, I think it's like a loft area. and then
Yeah.
there's another bed off of that area, like, I would consider maybe using that in a different way.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So I just want to make sure we covered all this. We got furnishings, and now we're back to this looks like a pretty big room here.
I know, with
And
a
I'm
tiny
seeing a
bed.
twin or a full bed. Is that a full bed?
Yeah,
So
it's
I
really
wonder if they're counting. I I would never have a full bed that I'm expecting to sleep two people in,
no.
unless we're talking like tiny home territory.
Right,
Like if it's a container home or a tiny home or something like that, people will give you a pass for that.
right.
But I mean, it's not like you're like renting a vintage Airstream and you couldn't put a bigger mattress in there. Look at this room. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's even look. There's space right here.
yeah. I'm trying to figure out where that room is because when I'm looking at where you'll sleep, it says bedroom 1 has 3 queen beds. Bedroom 2 has 1 double bed, 1 single bed. Bedroom 3 has 1 queen bed. Bedroom 4 has 1 queen bed. Bedroom 5 has 1 king bed. And then living room has 2 sofa beds.
Mm.
But that is definitely not a queen in that room.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like an adventure staying here with 16 people, put it that way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and also one thing that I don't think is in this listing, I wanna double check just before I
Oh, and it
gig
says
'em on it.
16 plus guests. If we read
I
the
was
about space, Luke, it says sleeps 18.
ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I just went to check and they don't have a layout thing on here, so that's one thing I did when I was up in
Yeah.
Michigan last week.
Yep.
Have you used Casa before?
I have. Yep. I use it for my cabin. It's
So
great.
easy, right? It
So
takes,
easy.
like, less than 5 minutes, as quickly as you can walk through and show your camera every corner of your place, it'll create you a
Mhm.
layout, and unless you want, like, a color one or whatever, it's free.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah,
Okay. So let's
really helps
go
with your
down the
conversions, yeah, if nothing else, it helps keep people from asking questions about the layout and what's where and all that. Alright, so
yeah.
anyways, you wanna go to, the reviews?
No, no, no. Go to show more. So this is again a great opportunity, something you should be looking at all the time and tweaking or considering. I think some things that I would do in here is sometimes less is more and sometimes easier to read. So I would bullet out certain things, the things that you really want to call out, fireplaces, how many, or fire pits, how many, games, things of that nature. The amenities that again align with your guest avatar is what you should be calling out. If you can use emojis, use them. Again, to Luke's point, like use AI. You copy this about space and have ChatGPT rewrite this and say include emojis, right? Like you can play with that and copy and paste this. You can even do it for different seasons. I actually just did that. I changed mine
Mhm,
from winter to start doing spring and summer. So I think that is a call out. One other thing that is quirky to me is other things to note using miles to places versus I would use minutes or distances in minutes, not miles, because like 4.2, like that just seems a little off to me. You could be like one
yeah,
minute to Starbucks, 2 minutes to Shanty Creek Resorts, versus doing miles. I think minutes are a little bit easier for people to understand.
sure.
Anything else?
Pets may be considered with prior approval. So I've seen a lot of people doing that recently. I saw another one, which is he's a very well respected host and somebody who is like well known in the space. He does a pets with permission policy,
Hmm.
which is kind of interesting and something I've actually considered doing a little bit. Like if somebody wants to have a conversation about a pet, I'm willing to entertain it. But
Hmm.
I think I was gonna have a pet friendly place, especially a place like this that's a little bit older that a pet's not gonna like tear apart. You don't have like super
Right.
high end finishings and stuff. I would lean hard into being pet friendly if I were these
I would
people.
too. I would
I
too.
would have pictures of the dog bowls. I would have, doggy
Bam.
bags,
Dog bowls,
treats.
some little treat
Right.
jars,
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
100.
And I would charge dearly for it.
Yep.
because people that are going on vacation with their dogs are willing to pay extra to go on vacation with their dogs.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
they're kind of straddling the line between being pet friendly and not. And well, there are people that I respect that are doing that. I would lean into it if it were me.
Yeah. Agreed. You know,
Yeah.
and when we were looking at the photos and everything, I think some things that were missing, we talked about, maybe using that garage. I think some other things we saw like a little thing with like this water dispenser, which was nice, like it's filter water, but I didn't see any coffee bar. I saw a little coffee pot in the corner. Again, I'm always going to have a coffee bar. If you have all this space, I'm definitely going to have a remote workstation available. Things that are so insignificant in cost, but create such a high impact. And then with quality photos, really would help drive this, I think.
Absolutely. I think if you're planning to sleep this many people, I would probably have either multiple coffee bars or I would have a picture that shows like two coffee machines side by side.
Yeah.
Because if you sleep 16 people, you don't get up in the morning and make one pot of
An
coffee.
eight
Like
pot coffee
you need to
pot's
make
not
two pots of
gonna
coffee, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's not getting a cup if you make one pot of coffee.
Right. Right. No.
So, yeah, hands down, you got to lean into that.
No. I would definitely go through what the space offers. I see 38 amenities. I can tell you my property has like 78 to 100, somewhere in that.
Mm,
So maybe look at what you don't have in here. Matter of fact, Luke, I just went through mine last week or 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh shoot, I have this. So
mhm.
again, always going back to your listing and going through things and updating it. The Wi-Fi, I think I saw Wi-Fi, but did they do the thing where you could see how fast it is? I don't think that they did. That's
No,
easy. You can do that like in 2 seconds on Airbnb, connect to your Wi-Fi. You can click and show how high speed your internet is, and it'll post it right there. Again, especially if I guess if you're adding a workstation or even a little remote station, having that though is helpful for guests who may pass up on this because they don't know your speed, and it could be great, right? But they
right?
see this listed somewhere else like, "Hey, this guy's getting 500 megabytes," whatever it is. I don't even understand it, but you know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
that
if
that
it's fast enough to put on there, it's probably fast enough.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, I like that.
Alright.
And if nothing else, like, there's a lot more amenities that could be checked here.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Reviews.
Alright,
Should we just look
let's
at the reviews real quick,
recap
or
with some reviews. Yeah, let's go for it.
alright. So, the first 2 reviews are 4 stars. That's not ideal. Should I sort by date or most relevant, or how you wanna do that?
Let's start by most recent because I think one thing I wanted to point out here, on the first two, again, first one was just talking about lighting being dim, a little slippery, nothing crazy. And the couch was a little uncomfortable. The second one was the kitchen. I guess it was just a little tight, and that was with 10 people, right?
Mhm.
So, but I think overall this is a good review. I don't see why they left 4 stars. Again, in my mind, and then looking down and even further, like we go to July, the 2 in July, those were really good reviews by Monica and Ari that
Mhm.
she got 4 stars for. Again, you need to have the magnet. If you haven't listened to our podcast about the secret sauce to 5-star reviews, do it, and start implementing those things. And what Luke and I will tell you is the magnets help, but also your proactive communication and level setting that expectation of a 5-star experience from the get go is imperative. This is a business, and we're business owners, so we need to, you know, set set up our systems and communication, to educate our guests on the difference between what a 4-star versus a 5-star mean.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. This Ari actually said the 2 bathrooms required a little coordination because they had 15 people.
There you go.
I mean, but there's a 3-star here. Had a broken toilet. So one of the oof, man.
Yep.
Pool pass renewal issue. It's very dark and dingy. It's not as clean
Yeah,
as
we,
we would
we
have
saw we
loved.
saw we saw several comments about the darkness, and we can see that throughout the house, right? We can see again that there's some call outs in that. I think because that dark wood. Again, I love the vibe of that, and I think certain spots do need to kind of stay a little dark, and I think that's cool to play off of, but maybe not the entire house. And maybe key areas like kitchens and living rooms probably need a little bit more light than a bedroom where you just need a nightstand with a lamp.
Right. I think that house just screams for a speakeasy.
Oh, dude, it'd be so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
You find the darkest room in the house and just go to town.
Yep, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
It'd be amazing.
Or a little wine cellar, kinda cool
Yeah.
vibe.
It,
Yeah, it'd be
so
awesome.
it looks like the host responded to the 3-star, but I don't that's the only one I've ever seen her respond to,
Yep,
which I think just responding to every single review is automatically gonna net you more 5 stars.
yep. Agreed,
Yeah, if you
agreed.
do nothing else, just respond to every review. Let them know how much it means.
Yep, agreed.
Yep. Another 3-star in June. Another thing is that this place is what, I mean, 5 minutes from a ski hill at
Yep,
most,
yep.
and it looks, at least on Airbnb anyway, it went from August to January without a booking
But was it
or
that,
without a
right?
review.
It would yeah. Again, I think that it booked. I don't well, it could be. So there's two different variations, so we don't know, right? We don't have access to the prior, but I think a 4.79 overall review, they're pretty low in the search at that point.
Mhm.
So they're not even gonna be in the top 2 pages unless you
Sure.
really honed in on this area. Um, and really, ideally, you should be aiming for the top 1 page and probably the top 3 spots of that first page. So that there's that. I think the other part is, to your point, Luke, they may not be asking for a review. And again, I think you're always asking for a review.
But again, we haven't really talked about amenities, but I don't see, I mean, of course, there's the old faithful of just putting in a hot tub and the winter bookings will come,
Yeah,
but I don't see there's no hot tub, no sauna. We're not really leaning into what people are going to do here in the winter. So this is a very active winter market. It's more of a weekend winter market though.
yeah,
And not every place is going to book. So we're maybe getting to 50, 60% occupancy on the weekends. So you've got to compete to get booked on the weekends here.
yeah. Agreed.
Let's see. You got anything else, man? You want to go into any of this anymore?
I don't think so. Again, I think, we don't even need to get into pricing. I think pricing would be just something else we would want to look at on a separate thing, but just at face
Sure.
value, I think the points here are that there's so much opportunity. This place, I know this house because I have a friend that has an Airbnb just down the road, and every time I see it, I'm like, God, I wish I could own that house. And if that
Right.
person ever wants to sell, I will gladly buy it because there's so much opportunity there. I don't know what they're producing income wise, but that should easily be, you know, that could easily be 75 to $100,000 a year property if it's done right. You add a hot tub. Like if you're adding a hot tub and some other amenities, I think you could do a great job. I think, again, great property. Super I don't think that the host is unaware of some of this, and I think, would love to speak with her and help her improve these because I think small tweaks could really help. Again, add a ton of value and not a ton of cost.
Right. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I would absolutely love to take over that place, and I mean, I would love to purchase it and renovate it and put our stamp on it. But I'd also just love to co-host that and help the owner really make that property see its potential. But
Yeah.
I kind of take solace in the fact that that thing is even still in business because as long as there's places like that are surviving, people like us are going to thrive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
For sure. For sure.
absolutely. Well, you
Well,
got anything
thanks.
else, man? You want to close it out?
No, thanks for tuning in. We hope you found some value, again, maybe use this as a starting point for you to always be looking at your property, looking at your hero photos, your titles, your layouts, utilizing ChatGPT. Ask it to use things to optimize for SEO. Again, just be active in your properties and your portfolios.
And we would appreciate a follow from you, Peak Season Podcast on Instagram, and a 5-star review wherever you're listening. Everybody take care, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.